For many years, my life was filled with anxiety and restlessness, despite having achieved what society considered to be the hallmarks of success: a fulfilling career, a loving family, and a comfortable life. There was an insatiable void within me. This inner turmoil led me to seek solace in unhealthy habits and fleeting pleasures, desperately trying to fill the emptiness that seemed to define my existence. It wasn't until I stumbled upon the teachings of Buddhism that I truly began to understand the nature of my suffering. Through meditation and the practice of mindfulness, I learned to observe my thoughts without judgment, and realized that my anxiety stemmed from my inability to find joy in the present moment. This discovery marked a turning point in my life and set me on a path of healing and self-discovery. In this video, I'll be sharing the profound insights I've gained on the Buddhist path to joy, and how it can help you find lasting happiness by cultivating contentment with what is. I'll also be discussing the importance of letting go of attachments and how to develop a deep sense of gratitude for the present moment. The journey to inner peace and true happiness begins with a single step. So, if you're ready to embark on this transformative path, then please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below. Let's begin our journey together. When we talk about joy, it's easy to think of it as something that lies ahead, some distant destination that we need to reach before we can finally be happy. However, the Buddhist perspective challenges this notion by suggesting that joy is actually available to us right now in this very moment. The key, according to Buddhism, is to stop searching for joy and start appreciating the present moment. Imagine trying to locate a lost item that you're certain you have misplaced somewhere in your house. You might begin by checking the obvious places, but as those turn up empty, you become increasingly frustrated and anxious. Your mind races, trying to retrace your steps and figure out where you could have left the item. As time goes on, the frustration and stress only intensify. Now imagine that, instead of continuing to suffer through the state of not knowing, you decide to pause and take a few deep breaths. In that moment of stillness, you remember that the item is not in the kitchen or the living room, but right here in your hands all along. Relief washes over you, and you realize that the answer was within your grasp the whole time. Similarly, when we search for joy, we often overlook the fact that it is already present in our lives. We chase after external circumstances, material possessions, or future events, believing that they will bring us lasting happiness. But in doing so, we ignore the joy that is available to us right now. Just like the individual who could unfind the item because they were too focused on their frustration and anxiety, we, too, can miss the present moment because we are preoccupied with our longing for the future or our attachment to the past. The Buddha taught that the root of our suffering is attachment to ever-changing circumstances, including our own thoughts and emotions. When we try to hold on to things as they are, whether it's a particular outcome, a cherished object, or a fleeting feeling, we inevitably experience disappointment. Change is the only constant in life, and resisting it only causes us pain. On the other hand, when we learn to embrace change and accept things as they are, we open ourselves up to the possibility of finding joy in every moment. Instead of fighting against the present, we can choose to engage with it fully and appreciate its unique beauty. For example, instead of resisting the feeling of loneliness, we can acknowledge it and use it as an opportunity to connect with ourselves or others. Similarly, instead of fighting against the changing seasons of life, we can embrace them and appreciate the unique opportunities and challenges that each season brings. As we let go of our attachments and learn to embrace the present moment, we begin to discover a deep sense of freedom and contentment. We no longer need to chase after external circumstances to create our happiness, because we realize that it is already within our grasp. One way to cultivate joy in the present moment is through the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment. When we practice mindfulness, we train ourselves to observe our thoughts and feelings without reacting to them or trying to change them. This allows us to see things as they really are and to appreciate the present moment for what it offers. For instance, when we're eating a meal, we can pay attention to the taste, texture, and aroma of the food instead of thinking about how much we have to finish or how little time we have to eat. We can savor the experience of eating and appreciate the nourishment that the food provides. Similarly, when we're spending time with loved ones, we can focus on being fully present and engaged in the conversation rather than thinking about past mistakes or future plans. We can appreciate the opportunity to connect with others and enjoy the company. By practicing mindfulness, we train ourselves to find joy in the everyday aspects of life and to appreciate the present moment for what it offers. Another way to cultivate joy in the present moment is through acts of kindness and generosity. When we focus on helping others and making a positive impact in the world, we shift our attention away from ourselves and our own problems. This can help us to see things from a different perspective and to appreciate the blessings that we have in our lives. For example, volunteering at a local charity or simply lending a helping hand to a neighbor can help us to feel connected to something larger than ourselves and give us a sense of purpose and meaning. When we express gratitude for what we have and practice kindness towards others, we create a positive feedback loop that leads to more joy and happiness in our lives. Moreover, engaging in activities that bring us joy can also be a powerful way to cultivate a joyful mindset. These can be hobbies, creative pursuits, or simply moments of self-care that allow us to relax and recharge. For example, painting, playing an instrument, dancing, or taking a walk in nature can all help us to tap into our creativity, reduce stress, and appreciate the beauty of life. When we make time for the things that bring us joy, we send a message to our minds that we value our own happiness and well-being. This can help us to approach life with a more positive and joyful attitude. In conclusion, the Buddhist path to joy invites us to reframe our understanding of happiness and to seek it not in the distant future but in the present moment. By letting go of attachments, embracing change, and practicing mindfulness, we can find contentment in the midst of life's ups and downs. Whether it's savoring a simple pleasure, helping someone in need, or pursuing a creative hobby, there are countless ways to cultivate joy in our lives. The key is to be open to the possibilities and to make a conscious effort to find happiness in each moment. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. May you find joy and peace on your own Buddhist path.